Salty McGuire the Gob. You'll always find me on the job. When a ship's in distress, then who cleans up the mess? Why, it's Salty McGuire the Gob. We sailors, we lead a rough life. We eat our peas with our knife. When the ocean gets rough, that's the time we get tough. So I'm Salty McGuire the Gob. Where did you get it? McGuire the Gob. You'll always find me on the job. When the ocean gets rough, that's when I do my stuff, for I'm Salty McGuire the Gob.
And a one fish, two fish, and a one fish, two fish, and a red fish, blue 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 fish. All right, Twitch is good. I think I heard YouTube, but we'll just double check that. All right, Twitch is good. I think I heard YouTube, but we'll just double check. All right, YouTube seems fine. We are still working on the Roseblade outfit. That's what we're calling it. All the modeling is done. We're getting it into DAZ. I think I got the majority of the rigging done and the morphing done and the setting it up and done in DAZ yesterday. The belts still need some work on some of the JCMs, but other than that, I think the rest of the outfit's as good as it's going to get. I just loaded in the sword and scabbard a little while ago. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set them up. So we're actually going to run over to another outfit, steel. So the way I model things is the swords are all modeled on the same basis where the center of the swords are all in the same spot. So I can take one sword, copy and paste its position into a new sword, and it'll just go right into the hand. So we're going to set that up. So we're going to do that for Genesis 9 and Genesis 8. So what we're going to do is we're going to load a Genesis 8 in here and a Genesis 9 in here. Then we're going to go over to the, what am I thinking? What did I call that thing again? Oh man, Wild Fang. We're going to go over to the Wild Fang outfit because it's got the sword, it's got the hand poses. So we're just going to kind of, we're going to like load that up onto a figure holding the swords. And then we can take that, reposition the new swords into the hands, and then save those poses and those swords as wearable presets out. So that's what we're doing right now. Then we're going to set everything up for texturing. I'm going to be able to do this on 3 maps. We're going to do it all in one fell swoop. So we're going to put them on UDIMs. So most of the armor set is on one UDIM. The boots on another. I'm not going to do the gloves. I've decided against the gloves. So I'm going to get rid of those. Hey, Willie, how are you doing? Charles is probably lurking too. Although he's on his phone, so I don't know. We'll do that thing. And we'll do this thing. We're setting up swords, and then we're going to set stuff up for texturing. For the whatever you call this thing, the joint editor. We're in the joint editor. Let's move out of the joint editor. And currently the outfit looks a little bit something like this. I'm going to just hide. Let's hide you. We have a foot pose. So it's kind of, I'm not going to do the gloves. So I decided to delete those out. I'm going to make sure to get rid of those. You're here, but would probably be better for you to do. All right, no worries, man. I get that. Same thing here. It's just so awkward for me to try to do anything with the phone. I feel like I've like tied both hands behind my back and I'm having to communicate just using my nose. All right. So We're going to break the outfit up into parts later on, but right now, this is kind of how it's looking. I'll go into headlamp mode because it's a little easier. And then we have the scabbard. The scabbard will eventually get attached to here with a smart node or a rigid follow node. But what we're going to do is we need. So I have the sword and scabbard over here. I don't actually need the scabbard, but we'll bring it in. I do need the sword right now, and we're going to texture this up. And that's how the scabbard and the sword load in by default. And what I want to do is I want to put swords in this hand. So let's go over to over here. And Chris's stuff, people, Genesis 8 female, clothing, Seacox. I think I did install Wildfang outfit G8. There we go. Let's get the G8 in here. So we're just going to load up the swords. So we have a sword that goes in the left hand and a sword that goes in the right hand. So we can copy and paste these into that. And likewise, we're going to set up we got to go run over to Genesis 9. Clothing, Seacox run. Run, Cox, run. Hold on. Where am I? Wildfang. There it is. We're going to do the same thing. Make sure we got Genesis 9 selected, and we're going to load those. That sword there, and that sword there. All right, now I've got all the poses and sword positions I need. So we're just going to run back over here to Roseblade, people, Genesis 8, clothing, me, and we'll start working in here. I'm going to save the hand poses out. I'm going to resave this stuff later when I get textures, but for right now, I need copies of the sword. So we're going to make 4 copies of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're just going to put them in the hands with these swords. So I see a right hand. I see a left hand. Going to do that. Then what we do is we take, that's the left hand, Control C, Control V. I'm off a little bit. Why am I off a little bit? That's annoying. Did I get the right, did I copy the right one? Is my, oh, I know what. It's the center wasn't set on this. Dang it. I keep forgetting DAS doesn't set the center at the center when it loads something in. So I have to fix that, and then we should be good, right? Fingers crossed. So we're going to get rid of these. All right, let's go into the joint editor. What I do is I need this right there at the center. It's pretty easy to do because we can just come in here, just make sure all of this is set to 0. And then for this, I'm just going to put that and hang that out like that. Okay, we should be good now. Let's memorize this rigging. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure we have that saved. Right there. And all of that should be good. You sent you a picture of your art you're working on. I had to take a peek at it. Okay. We're taking a peek at Charles's art. Oh no, where'd my Discord go? Oh, there it is. Oh, nice. Your art wall. Your art wall. Got it. Oh man, that's sweet looking. Dum dum dum. Are most of these? Oh, those. That's one. That one's yours. Are these all? I can't remember what she calls herself now. And did you got any from Andrea? Nice. And there's that looks like Sarah Wednesday. I'm not sure. Oh, there's a Tatty Bidet. There's something with a certificate of authenticity. Is that a buttery smooth piece? That is a buttery smooth piece. I recognize that now. And all of these, dang, that's a nice setup. Is that anybody we know? And then we've got these. Cool stuff, man. No, I purchased one from her, but never got it. Oh no. Hextier, that's it. Don't go. Yeah, well, we're not going to go too close over there anymore. Um, anyhow, I think I got the sword set up, so I'm going to delete this and reload it. The large painting was one of your great uncles did. Oh, okay. Yeah, it looked really good. And the pencil drawings that you were looking at last were those. You've had those for almost 40 years. Nice. Nice looking room, man. All right. There's the sword. Is the sword set up right? The sword is set up right. Okay. All right, now let's try this. I'm going to do it twice, and we're going to see if we can pop it into the hands on the Genesis. So D and D. And then that's going to go over to the right hand. I'm going to take you and put you over here in the left hand. You just went wherever. There we go. Okay, so then we take, that's the sword there. Control C. Control V. There we go. That's what it's supposed to do. And then we take that, Control C, and Control V. Most excellent. And then we don't need these two swords because we're done with them. Okay, and then we're just going to do the same thing for the Genesis 9 ones. So come out with a couple more swords there. Click on that. Click on that. So I'll put that one over here in the left hand. Take this one and we'll go put it over here in the right hand. And then Control C and Control V should pop that into place. And Control C and Control V. Pop that in the right place. Once I set these up, I've been using these setups. But Sinbad, I just copied and pasted those over. Pirate Outfit, they're just copied and pasted over from that. Okay, so now we're just going to save these as wearable presets with the hand poses. We're in the Genesis 8 folder, so we'll do those first. I'm going to have to resave these later when I get textures, but I just kind of want to get these set up so I can not have to look for them later. All right. Select Genesis 8 female. Click on the button that says the wearable preset. And we're just going to save that sword. And it's going to go in here. And this is going to be Roseblade sword. I'll do the left hand first. And left. And it's sword 3. So we're going to uncheck that one. We're also going to save the pose information for just the hand. So we'll just work our way down to the hand, wherever that is, chest lower, chest upper. We're doing the left side first, so we'll go down the left side. And I'm going to select hand and accept that. I'm going to put these patterns on the armor. So I'm debating white, well, white and black, and then I'm going to do a steel and something else. Then I want to do a green and a black and maybe a gold and a silver. So maybe eight color sets. And they're not really going to be meant to mix and match. Okay, so that's saved. So let's save the other one. Wearable preset. This will be the right hand this time. We'll make a pose for this a little bit later. I could probably set the poses up now. I want to do hierarchical poses. So if you have the sword selected, it'll still apply the pose to the hands. Whereas if you just do a normal pose, it won't do that. So when this comes back, we're going to save our hierarchical pose that's back. All right, so I'm going to open that up. We're going to select all of this. And we're going to save the left-hand pose first. So hierarchical pose preset, there we go. And that's for the left hand. So I'm going to say pose hand, or let's left pose. So hand, left pose. And the way Daz does this will actually show up before the actual prop itself. I heard a noise. Why did I hear a noise? Yo, 3D Loki just subscribed. Dude, there's the dyslexic heart for 3D Loki. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. All right, right click. Check only. Scene selected. Hello, hello. How you been doing, buddy? Dude. All right, I'm going to accept that. All right, I'll type out the shout out, Charles. Don't worry. Busier than a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. Dang. Well, stay out of the butt-kicking contest, dude. We're saving poses and stuff. I'm working on a new outfit. Armored outfit. We're actually going to get to the texturing today. But right now I'm just kind of doing the preliminary setups for the swords in the hands. Okay, and then we're just going to do the right hand. I'm going to select all of that. And we're going to save that as a hierarchical pose preset. And that's right. Roseblade sword hand right pose. Oddly enough, what you've been working on is already in your shout out. That's it. Is it on the website? You brought back your website, but now different. Yeah, I can see that. Check only scene selected. There we go. It's a full-on store now. Cool. I hope that's working for you. Powered by Pay HP. I have no idea what that is. PayHip. I still don't know what that is. I live in a cave with an internet connection. All right, I'm going to hide. We can put the Genesis 8 around. Now we're going to just say, so that's how the armor is looking so far. That's on our generic 9, though. Oh, and it'll have a scabbard on the side. There are scabbards down here, hiding down here right now. UK company started in 2011. Have not launched it public yet. Still doing I's, still dotting its I's and crossing the T's. Oh, okay. After 15 years? Dang. Financing's hard, though. Am I doing well here? I'm saving stuff. I'm saving stuff. Oh, you haven't launched your new store public yet. Okay, I get it now. Oh, but your pay your back end 2011. Got it. The wearable preset. I don't know which sword's which. We have to go over here to Genesis 9 to save all of this stuff. I don't even have a sword over here yet. Sword. And let's do the right. I might have to cancel this because I'm not sure what I'm doing. Okay, can I see what's in the right hand? There it is. I can see it. I can see it. Okay, so we can carry on. And we're going to save the hand pose. And I'm going down the wrong chain. There's the chain I want to go down. I said right, didn't I? There's the right hand. All right, we're going to save that pose with the prop. We're impatiently waiting for the save. Okay, we've got the save. We're going to do this now for the left hand. Is that right? Sword right hand. Yep, let's do it for the left hand. I think that was 4. So we're going to kind of. Am I in the Genesis 8 folder? I could have sworn I went over and did this in Genesis 9. Oh, I'm looking at. I know what it is. No, in Daz, I'm in Genesis 9. Even though I keep navigating over, I should probably not be looking in that folder because it just makes me have to navigate all the way over here every time. Left G9. Okay. And that one says 4. So we're going to hide all of this. Set the pose to keep the hand with it. Or pose the hand. Spin. Spin 2. Spin 3. Or it might say spine. We're going down the left arm this time. I hope I got it right last time. And then we're going to save the H poses for the hands. When this comes back, I'm going to navigate over. Okay, it came back. All right, let's save the H poses now. Hierarchical. Actually, before you do that, I want to. It's easier if I select all the parts we're going to save, because it just speeds things up. Now I can save the hierarchical pose preset. Let's do the left hand first. So we're just going to call that Roseblade Sword Hand Left Pose G9. And that says hand, and then we just click over here and say check only scene selected. It's so much easier just to select it here and then do that instead of going in there and checking all the little boxes. Actually, the navigating's the tricky part. Okay, that's done. Let's expand you. Come down here. Save that as an H pose. That was a material preset. That's a pose preset. I think we just did the left, so we'll do the right. And same thing, right click, check only, scene selected, and we're good to go. Okay, we're gonna save this stuff out. I'm gonna save it out in 3 groups. The armor with the headpiece is one group. So we're gonna save that. Actually, I gotta color everything. We'll start with those, and we'll just work our way down. Actually, I'm gonna make metal 1, metal 2. All the metals. I'm not actually going to make use of these, although I have my metals split up. Well, I don't have them split up on that. I'm going to split this up, but I'm not actually going to do that. But it might come in handy later on. So that would be metal 1, metal 2, metal 3, and then trim 1, trim 2, trim 3. But the way I'm going to texture most of the stuff, it's mostly going to just be the same color. In here, I've got 3 different metals. So I think I'm just going to color all the metals the same for my purposes here today. Let's go over here to the shaders. It's just easier for me to just double click and add colors that way. Okay, likewise, I'm going to do the trims all the same color. For my purposes in Substance. Oh, the Pauldrons. I missed those. You know what? I'll just grab everything. All right, now let's do this again. All right, metal 1 and metal 2. Metal 1, 2, and 3. Metal 1 and metal 2. And metal 1 is all pink. And then trim 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 1. Okay, that's good. I think the leather boots and the straps are going to be different. But other than that, do I want to separate out? I'm going to separate these out, but I do. So strap 1, so the straps will just all do the same. Do I have strap undersides over here? I do. And those don't have straps. Okay. Then there's strap undersides, which are the undersides of the straps. The idea is I would probably put more of an unfinished leather texture on there. Probably a suede. It looks kind of like suede. Okay, oh, I gotta do the belt too. You know, I'm gonna do the belt separately, except the buckle. I want to add the buckle. I have lost mine. I need you, and you, and you, because I want to strap buckle, and I'm going to rename that, but we'll set it up the same materials, whatever we put on the straps. Also, the rivets. We'll do the same material on the rivets, which are on the straps. Yep. Okay. So let's do those. All right, let's set these up. I got belt and belt underside. I'm going to do that a little. I'm probably going to do just the same texture I did with these. But I think I'll set the IDs up just a little different in case I change my mind. Okay, these. And I'll just set up, I'll just do my usual insanity with the boots. All these different stuff. Except the medals. Did I get the medals already? I think I did. Yep. And the straps, strap buckles, underside trim. Okay, so that's all set up. And then we'll do the sword and the scabbard. And I'm probably going to do whatever I did with this. Maybe it would just be easier to just take whatever color I have here. Strap, and just do them all for these. So belt, strap, and scabbard are all going to use the same thing. So I'll give those the same color. Belt underside, strap underside, strap underside. Scabbard doesn't have an underside. And then what I have, scabbard metal will be the same as whatever the metals are. Is that just the pink? That's just my pink. And I think I'm good to go. What are you? Oh, you're just so light. I'm just going to make you a different color just so you stand out. All right. Okay, we're going to export everything with colors. We're going to open it up in Blender and space stuff out. And then we're going to save that and load it up into Substance Painter. So so let's save the boots. And here we're gonna set up our substance folder now. Substance. It doesn't make a difference, but I'm going to make that small. And Rose Blade boots. Accept that. So this and this are on the same map. So we're going to send and the pauldrons are on the same map. We'll send those all out together. So that's going to be, I'll call that outfit. That should be good. Okay, I'm going to move the sword away from the scabbard. And then we're going to send the scabbard, the belt. So the belt, the scabbard, and the sword are all on the same map as well. So they get sent out together. I'll call that accessories. Okay, accept that. All right, close you down. Open up a copy Blender. Oh, what was today again? National Barrier Awareness Day. That's it. That's the reason for the what the fuck, dude? Come on, man. Come on. All right, we're importing. Activate import. Where am I? I'm over here. All right, let's do accessories first. Outfit second. And the boots. Okay, I can probably leave the boots there. I'm probably going to move the belt out of the way so that it doesn't occlude on the rest of the outfit. So I'm going to tab in here. I'm going to grab that. And we'll just kind of put it over to the side. Likewise, I'm going to move the pauldrons off the shoulders so they don't actually occlude the stuff underneath them. The rest of this is probably okay. I might move this over. That might be far enough away. Anyhow, Control I. I want to actually just prop those up. And you know what? I'm going to put these, I'm going to move that belt further. Actually, let's put you over there. Maybe move you in here. Probably should be good. Move you like that. Okay, now we're just gonna, oh yeah. And we're also gonna rearrange these on the UV maps. All right, let's get the pauldrons moved out of the way. It's probably good enough for them for spreading out. All right, now let's go to UV editing. So that's good. I'm going to move these over one, and then actually I'm going to move these over two. So we select all of that, and we're going to go 1, 2. So it's GX2. So what is this, like the 01, I forget how UDEMs are named. I also keep forgetting there's a way to see the grid, and I always forget how to set that up. But I like to see the grid. Is it UV grid something something? I don't know. I always forget. Is it in here? Nope. Are you in here? Tiles? Oh, that's it. It's right there. I say 3. There we go. Yay. All right, the boots. We want to move the boots over into here. So we'll just do a GX1. Moves them over 1 unit on the UVs. So we got that. We got that. We got those. Everything's all nice and laid out. My textile density I know is different between here and here. I'm going to see if I'm going to try to keep an eye on it in Substance and make sure that's not too apparent. It might have been a good idea to have these separate colors. Oh well. I'll see how bad the textile density for the boots looks versus this. Anyhow, this is all ready to export out for Substance Painter. Let's do that. Back over here. Activate export. Let's go over here to the Substance folder. Let's call this Roseblade. I'm just going to say IDs. And let's set the DAS preset. And we got materials. So we're going to do that. And then we do this again with no materials. And I'm going to cleverly put an NM on the end of this for no materials. Ooh, fancy. All right. We should be good to go. I don't even need to save this because basically I just did. This is basically just the OBJ. All right, now comes the fun stuff. I found a rose pattern that I'm going to kind of use as a bump map and like a second color on a lot of the armor parts. I have an idea how to do this. I'm going to have a basic steel, which is going to be... Oh no! Marvelous Designer is angry. That's an indication my VRAM might need a little cleaning up. So actually, hold on just a second. I've got apps in the background that I don't need to have on. I'm going to shut those down and we're going to come back. So I'll be back. All right, we're back. Let's see if we can launch a Substance Painter this time. Oh, that's better. Okay. My next option was to close the Studio. I didn't really want to close the Studio because then it takes so long to reopen it, but we're good. Alrighty. File, new project. Select. So we're going to go over to whip. There we go. Substance. I want the no material version. I'm going to create with that. Yay, it loaded in. And if we come and look over here, you can see we're laid out on our 3 UDEMs. So I'm going to save these into separate folders, texture folders. So this will be outfit. This will be in the Roseblade boots, and this will be Roseblade accessories. And what we're going to do is they'll be saved with like 1001, 1002, and 1003. Okay, all right, let's make our mesh maps. I've got some sharps in here. I'm going to resave this and reload it. You know what? So I'm going to cancel that bake. And we're going to pop back over into Blender. I haven't closed Blender down. And we're going to come in here and we're just going to select all. And we're just going to clear all the sharps. And then we'll just resave. Resave the no material version of this, which should be that right there. Okay. And I actually don't need you. I'm going to close you. I should have closed you before. Although it worked out. Edit project configuration. I'm going to bring in you. I don't think that worked. You know what? I'm going to do file new. And we'll just reload. Select. Create. Discard. All right. Bake mesh maps. Okay, I'm not seeing any of the harsh edges I had before, so it should be good. All right, let's bake again. Or let's actually bake this time. I like the way there's a little croissant in there for baking. Bake mesh maps. There we go. Bake selected textures. Oh no, I'm going to cancel that again. I don't want to bake thickness and I don't need to bake the ID map. All right, now we bake selected textures. We be baking. We be baking. All right, that's done. All right, now we're going to bake the ID map. Should be good. Mode. No, no, no. Over here. Load that in. It's hidden behind chat, but I can see the preview of the... That was not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. I can see the preview and it'll let me know if I'm actually grabbing the right one with the colors. That is the right one with the colors. All right. I like my... We're going to build that at 4K. We're going to make these cages super tight for better ID map fidelity. At least that's the plan. And then we bake that. I'm not using displacement maps with this one because it's all rigid. We're not deforcing anything in here on this project. So everything actually has thickness to it. So I don't really need to save the ID map. I do need the ID map for setting up my materials though. But if I was doing my usual displacement tricks, I would save the ID map, but not today. Today's a special day. I'm going to go find steel because I saw a really cool steel. Oh, look at that banana milkshake. Yum. Let's go see if we can download. I saw a steel the other day that I liked. And did you not do anything? I think it was this one right here. I think that's going to look really nice as my base steel. Do I have to do anything to download you? Download. There we go. Tempered steel. And you know what? We're just going to use that as the base. So I'm just going to drop that like that. We're good. I should see if I got a nice shiny steel maybe we can use for the blade. Do I have a little back button? I do. I thought I saw steel polish. We'll use steel polish for the blade. I should have hit that download button over there. You're looking a little... I don't know about that. You know what? That might be okay. Let's try that. I'm not sure about that. I'm not loving that. I'm going to undo that. I might just use my typical chrome on the blade. Let's see what other steel options we have. And then I've also got stuff named steel over in here. Randomized brush steel. Got kind of a brushy look. Reptilian Damask. Raindrop Damascus steel. Maybe, oh, that might. Let's take a look. Let's check it out. Let's make that pattern smaller. That's probably way too big. It actually is using a bump map channel, isn't it? Or a height channel. If I take that height off. Yeah, I don't like that. No, that's kind of... it's, I don't know. Can we stretch it out, make it look, and maybe rotate it a little bit? Um, we'll unlock the tiling and to kind of do that. Maybe rotate it off. No, there's too uniform of a. I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that at all. I don't like it, Sam. I am. I don't like green eggs and that Damascus steel pattern. What about this reptilian? Can I just drag it? I can't. No, I gotta download it. I think that looks too regular too, actually. Although maybe. I think the height map isn't necessary for a Damascus, or it has to be really subtle. I don't know about that. I think I'm going to probably pass on that. I actually wanted to put a rose embossing on this. So you know what? I'm going to lose you. We're still looking for a chrome, super shiny chrome steel, which I mean wouldn't actually be. What are you? You know what? I might go with that. That might be the. Although you know the others, the steel polished. You know what? I'm going to drop that on there in case I lost it. Steel. Oh, I have tempered steel in here already. I don't know. I'll debate. Maybe my steel version will use this. I'll use the other steel. Anyhow, back over here. We'll see if we spot any more steel worn. How worn are you? Steel battered? Because you don't look so worn in the preview. You don't look so. That might be my wiener. Steel glossy. I don't know about that. I'm not crazy about that preview, but you know what? That might do. Use that along with, say, the chrome. It's a naval mine. It's sensitive content. What the hell? Chrome plated clean. That might be another option. Anyhow, I'm going to put brass on here and here. And maybe we'll get gold in here too. And I need wrapped leather. Does it have a wrapped leather? Or do I just need to do... Am I going to have to set up my own wrapping texture? Wrap. Carbon fiber. You know, maybe. So I might mix like colors and things with a texture. Carbon fiber wrap might give me the look if I mix that with a leather or something. See, that's got a nice... Although I'm going to set that to... Because we got a distinct seam in there. If I switch you to triplanar, is that going to look weird? Where's my UV projection? Let's try triplanar. So that kind of blends in the edges. That kind of gives me that wrapped look, except, you know, we don't want the sheen on there. So what we might do is we might keep the height map with that, and we'll probably lose the color, the roughness, and the metallicity. And then we can put a leather on top of that. maybe the leather damaged. On top of that, and set the, and we can kind of maybe really dial back the, what do we got in here? So you have a height and a normal. You just have a height in there. So, let's come over here. We'll come over here to say normal, and we'll dial the intensity of that back so we can get that wrap texture kind of coming through. And we'll do the same thing with the height map. So you can kind of get this blending in with that wrappy texture underneath. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. And then I'm going to do a, look, we got a rose on there. Rose blade, get it? Yuck, yuck. Hey, Rod, how are you doing? It's Rod Shelley. Happy National Barrier Awareness Day. And I said Barrier Awareness Day. There we go. Brass. Let's get my brass knocked in here. And this, I'm just going to change the colors on this. Probably mostly brown. That's kind of a dark brown. We might lighten that up a little bit. You didn't crash into even one today. Congratulations. Let's try. I like my brass polished. I don't care. And so we're also going to add you to that. And there we go. We basically, what other options? I'm going to do silver. So let's group. Let's put you down here. And so tempered steel is the base armor, so we're going to leave that alone. I'm going to group all of these together. Nope, wrong button. Let's try that again. Control G, I remembered that. And we're going to call you Sword. And leather damaged. If I put, can I change you with add a filter? Use my the good old HSL. Yes, the HSL is going to work really nice on this. I'm going to switch you to regular. No, Perceptive was working better, I think. So we can tweak the hue on that. Maybe the lightness a little bit. Tweak the saturation. Kind of like that. And then I can just copy these. Control D, dude, Control D. So I'm going to need a black and a white. Cancel that. I hit the wrong button again. So turn you off. Leather damaged. We'll come back to you, but you're going to be the white. And you're going to be the black. And this was a super busy day. Eye appointment. Joe getting a bill straightened out. Grocery store. Then home to troubleshoot a weird computer problem. Why the hell did you? All right, let's tweak this one. So we're gonna desaturate that and darken it up. And that'll end up being the one for the black version, which is probably going to have maybe a silver, and then I'll use a chrome for the white version. So now that is good there. This is the white version right here. So kind of the same drill. Dial U way back. Actually, I'm going to slide this over into blue before we do this. Then I'm going to dial this way back, but not quite. I like my whites to have just a touch of blue in them. And then we just kind of take that up. That's probably going to be good for the white. Daz will blow that out anyhow. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And I've got too many steels in here. I do want to keep the chrome, and I think the steel polish was the other one I wanted. So let's turn the chrome off. Let me just... That's steel glossy. Actually, I think the steel glossy might be the one to keep. The appointment Joe wasn't very clear on that. Oh, that's okay. Eye appointment, Joe. Oh, then you were getting a bill. Oh, okay. So it's not your eye appointment. It was Joe's eye appointment. I think I'm good here. I think I just need to add a gold and a silver for the metal attachments in here. And I want to see if I got a better gold we can download from the asset store, except you don't have to actually pay for it. Sandblast gold. I want shiny gold. Gold leaf waste. I think I've gotten that before. Gold polished. It says I've got gold polish in here somewhere. Gold armor always looks nice. We'll use the gold armor. That's pretty close to my brass, but a little more saturated. Same prescription, so no new glasses. Yay! I totally need new glasses. I have for like years, and it's just been too freaking cheap. All right, there we go. Gold has been done. Let's get Sliver. Long John Sliver. And I spelled sliver, didn't I, instead of silver. Silver armor, we'll use that. We'll use you. I choose you, Pikachu. I don't like that. We got another... I don't know, maybe I'll go ahead and use that. Let's see what our silver option are. Silver polished. I don't have a silver polished, did I? No, let's get the silver polished in here, dude. There, we're using silver polished. I like that. Honestly, I'm going to use the same metallicity and roughness maps for all the metals. It's just changing the colors. Although I think maybe I'll use this for the base color. And so I'm going to also want to apply you to the other stuff. Okay, I think I'm good there. And you know what? I'm going to grab these because they're also going to become the buckle colors. I'm going to Control G those. Call that metals. Shiny metals. Metal shiny. It's so shiny. I think I didn't spell shiny right though. I think that might be shiny. Where'd my swords go? They're inside shiny. Never mind. Let's get the swords out of here. Oh, I know. I got brass polish in there. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to take you and stick you outside. Close you down. Metal shiny. You know what? I can go ahead and, I'm just going to assign that to the other shiny parts too. And actually, you know what? We're going to get rid of these color selectors and I'm going to put it on the group. It's so shiny. Yes. Ear, nose, throat doctor on the 13th, dentist on the 14th. Lots of people getting into your head. I know. And they're not even politicians. Yeah, I'm getting rid of these. Where's the remove effect? Oh, I can just hit delete, del, and del. And then actually I'm just going to put it on here. So we're just going to add a mask with a color selector. And I'm just going to select all the little parts that I want. Let's try that again. Okay. Moving along. So all of my buckles are set up the same. Oh no, what did I click on? Oh, that's the steel texture underneath everything. Why am I not seeing my gold armor when I do this with that? Because I got the sword in the way. Is that it? Nope, that wasn't it. Because I took all the... You should be applying to everything. Oh, you got that blast mask down there with no selector. That's what it is. I think. Do I gotta remove mask? I'm going to ungroup these and try it again. I did something goofy in here. Oh, oh no, that's because they still have these masks on here, but there's no color selectors. That's what it is. Can I remove masks from all of those? That would have been too easy, right? Don't need those folks in your head. You already crazy enough as is. Yeah, right. We're all nuts up here. I'm removing the mask. Remove mask. There we go. That should fix things. Remove mask. Remove mask. And then put the color selector on here. Actually, let me remove that mask. There we go. And then add mask with color selection. Okay, now we're back in the business. Now we're cooking with propane and propane products. Okay, that's over there. All right, that's better. This gets that there, so it goes there and there. One of my colors is close to that color. Is that going to be... No, this color is that color. So I want a different color here. because that's going to be this color. That color is going to match the other color, I think. So I'm going to subtract that. You know what? That's probably going to be good. So I have those, although I am going to use the silver and the gold on here, but I'm just going to use it separate. So here, let's set this up just for the armor and the trims. Now, actually, let me copy these, and we'll just pull them down here past tempered steel. So I'm going to put all of this into a group for the armors, and the trims are going to be the same. And I'm going to want to, I actually want to do a green. Okay, so we're going to have steel. I think maybe I'll do a bronze. I'm going to do a black and a green with gold, a decorative pattern on it, and then we're going to do a straight up black and white. What is that, 6? Maybe 6. I think maybe I can stick at 6. Which means I've got the steel. Oh, and then silver and gold. So that'll make 8. Silver and gold, brass polish. I don't need that in here. Do I want to use that on that? No, I'm not going to use brass polish. I probably should have set that separate from these. You know what? I'm gonna redo the ID map. Let's save this. I haven't saved this yet. Oh, oogly boogly. Save as. That's probably good enough. What are you? Roseblade. So the belt and the straps will probably use the same leather texture. I wanted to use a different one on the boots. Just because there's straps on the boots, we want a little bit of a contrast between those. And then this, I actually want this to be more of the buckle instead of the armor. So I'm going to just recolor that. So we're going to pop Blender back open. Actually, did I have to close Blender? That's not the blender I need. That's not the blender you're looking for. Okay, here, we're just going to do this. File, no, to an import from here. And I am looking for this one right here. And what I want to do is I want to reassign these colors to whatever that is. You are a strap buckle, so we're going to just make these strap buckle. And to do that, takes baby steps. Select you. Strap buckle and assign. Hide that. Control L. Assign that to strap buckle. I got sharps in here still, don't I? 2A up to 2. Oh, for fuck's sake. There we go. And then up here, I'm going to kind of do the same thing. Select that through there. Assign you to strap buckle. Hide you. Control L that. And assign you to strap buckle. Alt H brings everything back. And then when I redo this should automatically pick up that color. All right, let's resave. And we'll rebake the ID map. export materials. Yep, substance. I'm going to overwrite that. So back into here, back to Bake Mesh Maps. And we still have the ID map selected from the last time. I'm going to just reload that to make sure that it's the right one. And bake that. So this should now have the same color as that. My Windows refresh. There we go. That's better. Yep, that I like that. I like that. Excellent. All right, now we'll start thinking about concentrating on getting these armor colors. So I don't need a brass polished here. We're going to do gold. We're going to do silver. We're going to do tempered steel. I'm going to maybe do a really... No, I'm just going to do tempered steel, but we're going to make it black. Do I get options for that? You know what? You don't have a normal map selected. Did that make any difference? That does not seem to have made a difference, I don't think. Nope. So what are you doing with it? So, am I seeing anything? I can't tell. I'll probably just stick a height to normal map thing on this set here. So we're just going to group all of those together. I'm going to call that armor. And what I'll probably do is just stick a height the normal map filter on there just to make sure I get a normal map generated out of this. Add filter. There we go. Height the normal. See, now we got something. This is depth of 16 centimeters. Why? If I do that, that's a little too subtle, right? No, we don't see nothing. I might do that. So if we turn the tempered steel off, where are you coming from? You're coming from tempered steel. Nope, you're not coming from. You're coming from gold armor? You're coming from gold armor. I kind of like the gold armor texture. So maybe, although I might dial that back some. That doesn't seem to be making any difference. You would think dialing the height map would adjust the would adjust that, but it didn't seem to do. So maybe I just change it over here. I don't know, just adjusting this. Maybe if I just adjust the normal map. I want a little bit of texture, but not much, because it's the armor. We'll try that. We'll see how that works out. All right, let's go back to material. Yo, SROM, how are you doing, buddy? Everybody, check out SROM music. I don't think I've got around to the SROM command yet. I'm a slug. Someday, someday. In the meantime, we can just give you a good old noisy shout out here. Everybody follow SROM. Check him out on Saturdays. I don't know, are you, Catherine, co-streaming again yet? Is that still on hiatus? Okay, tempered steel. This is going to be black. Do I get a color option in here? I do not get a color option in here, do I? Oh, metal color, there. We're going to do that. I made an SROM. Oh, you know what? Okay, I have to remake the SROM command because I lost all my Streamlabs commands. So I have to rebuild all my commands in StreamerBot now. You still can't play instruments? Ah, nuts. Hopefully sooner than later. Okay, so that's going to be black. I'm going to use this and we're going to turn it into a green. And then what I want to do is I want to add like an overlay version for the black with kind of a rose pattern. So here, let's duplicate you. You're just going to be kind of a really dark green. I'm thinking like a coolish kind of green night kind of look thing. Is that doing anything? Yep. And what are the...
Chris, pay attention.
What happened now? StreamerBot is the shit. You're so jealous of everyone that gets to use. You don't get to use StreamerBot? I'm sorry. What did Oh, Charles is bowing out. All right, take care, Charles. We will catch you later, man. Sitting here falling asleep. Everybody check out my friend CS Bond. Doesn't actually stream, but you know, give him a follow anyhow. It'll give him a warm, fuzzy feeling when he sees, oh, I got another follower. Excellent. No StreamerBot for Mac users? Oh, man. I'm sorry. StreamerBot is what allows me to easily co-stream just because I can do that with my chat. So I normally hide that, but this is the real reason I like StreamerBot. It's a little noisy, but I can see my YouTube chat, and not that anybody's saying anything in YouTube, but I can see my YouTube chat. I can see my Twitch chat all in one little window here, which is super cool. And then I can make commands. So I've been tying my commands in with sounders. So like when I did Charles, he has a sounder. When I redo yours, I'm going to have to find a sounder. I don't know. Do you have like a 3-second or a 5-second sound clip you'd like to use? If so, hit me up and I can set that up. You really need a music sound for your commands, though. All right, I'm gonna go get some textures. We're gonna add kind of a rose pattern to most of these metal faces. I'm gonna use it mostly as a bump map, but for the green and the black. So there's going to be two blacks. One's going to be a straight black, and one's going to be a black and gold. The green is also going to have a gold pattern on it. And then we have, and bronze. I need a bronze. And I need a white. So let's duplicate this. Let's hide you. Let's turn you into a white. So that's going to be the white Knicket. So I have my black, I got my white, I got my silver, I got my gold. I'm going to have the black and the gold, the green and the gold, and I want a bronze. So I'm going to do 8 textures for this. I don't know. Let me try, what is bronze armor going to look like? Well, that's kind of cool. I'm going to live with that. We're going to drag you down here to the armors, though. So you're going to live in there with the armors. And now I'm gonna run over to my Elements Envato account and download some stuff for this. I want this. This is going to be, I'm just going to use this as a bump map on the sword. So that's just a rose, because I'm calling it rose blade. And I'm gonna tweak the bottom of this a little bit. So let's get that. Do I have you? What are my PNG options? Let's get that. Let's download this. Save image as. Yep, we'll stick that right there in the downloads. And I was looking at my Elements Invado account earlier, and I actually want to do two. I'm going to use this as kind of an embossed map. I think. I may not. I might change my mind on this one. But I'm going to get it anyhow. And I'm going to use this. We're going to turn that into a black and a white, though. So let's grab that. Two streamers made walk-ons for you be off in the air tonight. Drum break. On their own accord. Oh, nice. And my brain stopped. Oh, I know what I gotta do. I gotta go to my downloads folder. That's what we're doing. Hello, downloads. I'm gonna grab all of this stuff and move it to our whip directory. Let's cut those. I'm over on screen 2 where you can't see what I'm doing. I know, how rude. Hiding all the good stuff over there on screen 2. All right, we can bring this back over here. There's the whip folder. We'll just paste these in here. And I'm going to load these in. I don't know, you're right there. Let's take the PNG, whatever this is. Let's take a look at that. Where did you go? Rose seamless pattern. Which one are you? You're that one. All right. So what I want to do is I want this to actually be like an emboss. And so we're going to make a mask out of this. So let's open that up with Photoshop. Open with. It's nowhere near open. I noticed in Windows 11, the latest version, open with is right next to open. So I guess there's one thing Windows 11 does right. And that might be it. I don't know. I think this is a PNG, so I could probably just fill that in. Yeah, we can just here, let me put Photoshop there so everybody can see what I'm doing. Let's set that. Let's lock that. Flip you around. Let's do a fill. Let's put a black background color in here. And then we're just going to save that pattern. I'm just going to flatten that out. Something in here says flatten image. What is it? Don't feel bad, Chris. Right now your mind is sloshing around in one of those prepackaged. Exactly. All right, save as a copy. I'm just going to call it B&W for beer and wine version of it. All right, and then I'm going to do what were you? You were Rose. So there's another zip file in here somewhere. That one right there, I think. Is that the right one? It is. I want this. So I'm going to move you out to here. And we're going to open that up in Photoshop. I can only find this because I was just there. Nope, that's the wrong one. All right, let's close. Close. Let's. Nope. Did I not just? Oh, there it is. Is that the? Nope, that's that rose ornament. And URPNG. What did I just do? Pink rose pattern. That's what I want. I want to turn that into a black and white. Only I want the white parts to be black and the color parts to be white. I may not end up using this, but it's kind of busy. But maybe, but it might add some extra interest on there. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going to use it as just a bump map, a normal map. What am I doing? I'm opening with again. That's right. Hey, look at that. Photoshop's already open. All right, let's desaturate. Image adjust. Desaturate. So I want to control I, and then we're just going to tweak the levels so that we got whites and we got blacks. I don't know. I'm having my. Oh, anyhow, let's just say this is a beer and wine. B&W. Okay, now I don't need Photoshop anymore. Okay, we're going to bring these black and white maps into Substance Painter, and one I'm going to use just as a bump map. So let's do that. Actually, let's do. And also, I want the PNG in here, and I'm going to use that as a height map just to add a little embossing on the sword. So import resources. That's what we're doing. Add a resource. We're close. We're right there. I want you. I choose you, and I choose you, and I choose you. And we're just going to use with this project. And let's select all of these. OX. Roses. Do I want to make these all alphas? Yeah, let's just make them all alphas. Let's just call them alphas, and we'll import those. Okay, now for my stupid stunts. Right out here, let's put a fill layer in. I'm going to try the noisy pattern first. And all I want for that is just height. So it's going to do that. We're going to tile that up. I hope that's a seamless tile. Maybe not that much. I want to be able to see the pattern. That might be. It'll look different in whatchamacallit. And do I actually want that? Or do I want to swap that? I want to, we'll try that. But I want this just on the metal plates. I don't want it on the trim. So here, we'll put a mask on that. And we'll just apply it to the metal. So my trim. You know what? That might work. I'll swap it in and out. I'm going to save this as a height map variation. All right. Now I'm going to do the other one, and I'm going to do this twice. We're going to use it once for color, and we're going to use it once as a bump map. So actually, yeah. Let me duplicate this. And instead of this as the height map, we'll use the other one. I may need to do this in parts. Let's hide you. Because I want to kind of align it. I probably should set up an ID map with all these different parts and different colors so I can use each one individually. You know what? We're going to do that so that each one of these pieces is different colors. So let's hit save on this and let's go reset our colors. Hey, look, Blender's still open. How convenient is that? So I'm just going to need to make, like, this is all going to be one. So we'll pop into here. And do I have my, I have the wrong thing selected. I want to come in here. And what I want to do is I want to select, and we'll hide all the trims. Actually, I'm going to select anything that's not metal. Boy, that's a janky ass mess, isn't it? So trim, select, trim, select, trim, select, trim, select, trim, select. I don't need the strap buckles, the strap, the underside, the strap rivet, so that everything else, those are missing. Where were you? I thought for sure you're... Did I not? Oh, here, we'll hide those. And we'll see. Am I missing something in here? So that's the headpiece. So we got all the trim off of that. That says it's also head piece. Am I missing something that says trim 1? Did I inadvertently? What are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. That's what I was looking for. So I'm going to hide those. This makes it easier. All right. Oh, and I need to get the back, please. So I'm going to just make that a new material. I'm just going to call it 01 because I'm lazy that way today. And we'll just give that a unique color. And then I want these. Are these all? I want. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is gonna get insane. I do want all of this onto one. And assign that. Oh, I didn't assign you a color. Wow. Or actually, you know what? I'm in the wrong. That's why I can't see nothing. Why am I not seeing my colors? There's my colors. I think I forgot to do an assign on that. We'll come back and get these. Okay, so that's 1, that's 2. This doesn't need a pattern on it. This one does. I Can't see my little plus sign. There we go. And do I have something running in the background that I shouldn't? I don't know, probably. Did I assign that? 5. 6. 7. Did I not assign you to 6? 8. I may not need all of this, but I'm going to set it up anyhow. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. These are pretty close. I should be able to separate them out with the ID. 14 and 15 are the palindromes. $15, I think, is where I'm at. Okay, then I'm going to get the... I think these are UV mapped together, right? So let's go take a look at the boot. They're all UV mapped together, so I can... And I might be able... Yeah, I'm going to give them each separate ones. So I just need to select that trim, hide it. I can... Oops. I had one of those faces. Select those. Hide that. Grab these. That's one side. We're going to set you to be 16. I'm going to make you 17, and I think that's what I think I should be good then. So it gives each of these, those colors are close, but we can differentiate. Gives each of these a different color, so I can work on each one separately if I have to move my patterns around a little bit for the bump maps. Because I do kind of want the bump maps to look kind of organized, at least these ones. They actually have some symmetry in the pattern. So the first one was just that random rows. That one I'm not concerned about. 17. Assign. Give that. And we should be good. So we're going to resave this. I think we're saving the materials. There they are. So we're going to come back here and rebake. So that I don't have to change. This I'm probably going to have to tweak the color selector. And once I set that up, I can copy it over here. Edit. Mode, bake. All right, so we're going to reload in that with the new colors. That one right there. It's covered by my overlays, but that looks right. And then I'm going to just bake that. We'll pop over here and take a quick look at what we're doing. Mode, painting. I should hit save. And I should do this with color first, and then I'll switch it over to the bump map version. So I'm gonna hide. No, I need that. I thought I had you. Oh, it's because we broke the thing, right? So I'm gonna clear you out, and we're gonna just choose all of these colors. And I'm going to set that to be much tighter on the tolerance because some of these colors are pretty close together. Okay, so that's good. So now I can copy. Can I just copy the mask? Copy the mask. Copy the mask. Where do you copy a mask? Copy mask right there. I'm going to delete this mask. Remove the mask. Paste the mask. There, and then when I hide this, that comes up. And if I don't like the way this pattern is lining up on certain parts, I can go in there and now work on them individually. So basically, I can see this, and I want that to run along this center line right through here. So I'm going to start by tiling that. And then this one, I probably should do this in baby steps or delete colors off as we go. And this is a little hard for me to see, so I'm going to switch this. I'm also going to do it as a color mask. And I'm going to turn the height off. And it's just easier for me to kind of see it as a color. And this is going to be And I'm going to blend this in with gold. Actually, why don't I do that? I'm going to end up setting that up as a mask. As an alpha. Where do I do the alpha on this? Maybe I do an opacity and just. How do I set? Do I have to set you up? No. This is probably fine. I've got to figure out a way to make parts of these gold. And what I can probably do is change. Oh, I wish I could just put an alpha on here. That will go with the rest of. I could do it as an opacity. And then just make sure there's a. And just screen it. Maybe I'll do that. No. And then do the color. So if I do this as an opacity map and get rid of that and change that color to the gold. And that's not going to work. Do I have to put you in here? And then do I have to tile this up separately than that? Yeah. I'm trying to think of an easy way to just make, I think that's the mask, and I don't want to do that way. I'm going to worry about it later. Right now, we're just going to concentrate on getting the getting this done. Okay, so do I want to tile it like that, or do I want this to be a little bit bigger? I'm thinking maybe a little bigger. And then what we can do is I want to just tweak that offset just so that kind of sets through there. Oh, I need it finer than that. Right about like that. So that gives me kind of a. And then if I slide you, so here we'll work on the base color layer, and then I can flip over to this, and then I can see the bumps. And so we put you in here. Oh, the height map's still there. And that's kind of what it's going to look like, except I just hate the preview of the height map in here. And, oh, it's 9 o'clock. So I'm making progress. Let me see if I can get the. I'll sort this out eventually. You can see these should line up with one another, right? Also, they're a little weird stretch, so I might adjust those. So that's where the color thing is so I can kind of tweak each one. So I'm probably going to be spending the rest of the night tweaking each of these individually. Yay. Duplicate that layer. Come over here. I don't know. Just close all of these down. And put that onto there. Then I can adjust this separate from the other one. Oh, they're bleeding through. Ah, I hate that. I hate it when it does that. Normal. Height to normal. There we go. And then the idea is to kind of line that pattern up. So that it sets kind of in the middle. Kind of like that. I'm close. I can't do fine tuner than that, so I actually have to come in here and kind of type 0.19, too far, 0.195, 0.197. That looks good. All right, so I got 2 pieces down. And then the tricky part is to figure out how to get the color masks in here the way I want them. You know what I might do is I might end up just saving out the height map. Then I can use that as a mask to put the color on it. That's what we're going to do. Anyhow, we're making progress on this. I've started the textures. I think and it's not going to look as dorky. The bump map really looks janky in this preview. But anyhow, making progress on the Roseblade outfit. You know what I am going to do? I'm going to do the emboss on the sword real quick here. And so I think I can do that with a fill layer. I'm going to run that way up to here past sword. And what we're going to do is we're just going to, and I only want this for the height, and I think I can I just decal you on here somehow? Kind of like that. Oh no, I can do this with a paint. I need to do a paint layer with that. So we're going to plop a paint layer in here. We got our brush. So what I need to do is set this up into my brush. I'm going to make that hard on the edge like that. We're going to set up my brush to paint on the UVs. And it actually would be easier to come and paint it into here. Okay, now the idea is to take this and make I need to invert you, don't I? Can I invert my alpha mask? I don't know if I did that right. Maybe I don't need the mask. Maybe I can just use you. Oops, I lost my paint layer. Get rid of you. So I want to just multiply this. Okay, so we're going to do that. Set you up as a height map. You're just going to be like that. I'm just going to come in here and paint like so. Ah, you need to be square. I got to go make it square. Stupid program. Anyhow, so I'm going to get that embossed into here. I think I can just switch the height to multiply. Maybe not. Let me lose that. You're wrong. Do that. Yeah, it's going to kind of be like that. Only I'm going to make it fit. We're going to have it longer. So I'm going to have this rose pattern built into the blade, and it's going to stretch down. Oh yeah, also I'm going to trim it off a little bit. So I got to trim it off. I got to make it square so that it fits. So that's going to go on there. Anyhow, with that, we're going to call it a night. We went a little over. So this rose pattern, along with the rose pommel, is basically what I'm going to justify. Also, we're going to use prose patterns on the armor. Oh no, you got stuck on the phone. Sorry, dude. Well, you got back before I left. I'm just leaving now. So this is where we're leaving off. It's going to look much nicer in Daz, trust me. Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it, man. So anyhow, progress. Good progress. I know, just in time. It's past 9 o'clock, dude. Anyhow, everybody stick around. Hey, if there's anybody on YouTube, like and subscribe. That would be awesome. Like and subscribe. I think I have to say that. And I have to sound like an idiot doing it, too. At least I don't hammer you with it multiple times during the stream. Um, Anyhow, let's if you're on Twitch, stick around. We're gonna find somebody cool to go hang out with. It is Thursday. Um, the Dans are probably on. Is Brontosaver's off? Is Brontosaver off? Yes, Brontosaver is off. Yeah, catch you Saturday, Rod. Good to see you. Show more. Let's see. I'm gonna go down and work my way up. Anyhow, I think our good friends, the Dans, are on. Dapster Dan and maybe Dr. DK. Bad Tooth Records is on. We love our Bad Tooth Records here. Dapster Dan. Who did I raid last? DJ Ray is on. We love our good friend DJ Ray. And I'm just going to double check and make sure there's not somebody else who I think we should go hang out with. But those are usually the three people I'll go harass. I think tonight is. I'm thinking it might be a Dapster Dan night. Let's go say hi to Dapster Dan. He's a Canadian music streamer who I've known what feels like forever, although it was probably just 2019. Of course, anything before the lockdown feels like forever now. Anyhow, let's go over and say hi to our good friend Dapster Dan. He's playing the music. He's a cool cat, a good friend. If you can stick around and you haven't visited Dapster Dan before, drop a follow. And if you can copy the raid call and show some love when we get over here, that would be awesome. I got those commands working. I don't think my Discord's commands working yet, but we got the raid commands. If you're not a sub, you can use that one. Hey, take care, Willie. Thanks for being here, man. If you are a sub, you get to use the sub raid command. And let's do this /raid and Dapster Dan. There we go. All right. Thanks everybody for being here. I will be back in 2 days on Saturday, 1 p.m. Probably working on this outfit or maybe starting something new. We'll see where I am with this. You know me, I got to crank out about an outfit a week. And even then, I'm not making enough money. But still. So anyhow, sub-raid. Raid. Did I do the raid thing? I have not started the raid. Let's do the raid. Or did I start the raid? I have started the raid. All right. Thank you all for being here. I hope you all have a good rest of a Thursday or Friday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. And once again, remember, folks, today is National Barrier Awareness Day. If the opportunity arises for you to voice your concerns to your government or somebody about things that are just inaccessible, and let's face it, for most of us, we will probably need accessibility at some time in our lives. So keep that in mind. Accessibility is good. And it benefits everybody anyhow. You're hauling that heavy cooler around and suddenly you're faced with these steps. Wouldn't it be nice if there was just a ramp somewhere instead? Anyhow, thank you all. Let's do this. Let's go over and say hi to Dapster Dan. Copying my raid call. And hasta la vista, baby. Cash in my very head. Yes, indeed, sir. I feel that. Yeah. Where's my raid? My raid thing went away. Damn it. The thing that says raid now went away. Why? Maybe if I come over here, look at my chat. Do I get my option 2? I don't know. Did I just raid? I just raided. Okay. If there's anybody still here, bye.